Hello?
Look at the jet up there. It was going past the moon, like in perfect level. Wow, look at those clouds. So cool.
This is how COVID-19 has affected San Diego Board Shop in Carlsbad with Alexa Blodorn. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted many businesses over the past year. With the closures, mask mandates, limited capacity, and social distancing rules, retail stores have been affected both negatively and positively. This story is based off of San Diego Board Shop in Carlsbad, a highly visited retail surf shop right in the heart of Carlsbad Village. In this episode, I'm going to interview one of the employees of San Diego to see how the pandemic has affected their store in particular. All right, we are here with Bree Sullivan. She's one of the managers at San Diego Board Shop in Carlsbad. Hello, Bree. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Alexa?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I just have a few questions here about your store. All right, the first question is, looking back at the beginning of this pandemic, when was the store initially closed for the first lockdown?
About a year ago right now. We closed down in March of 2020, and we reopened 2 months after that.
What were the rules for being able to open again?
The rules originally when we opened because we are technically a rental shop. So we opened up under that, and the entire store was closed. And then when we opened up our full doors, a couple days after that, it was at limited capacity. Masks had to be worn. We weren't having anyone try on things in the store. It was only visual shopping, and I don't even think we were doing returns. But yeah, it was very, very minimal.
How did those rules affect the customer's attitude about being able to shop again?
Yeah, we had some customers who were frustrated with the rules because it was just very limited, especially when we weren't allowed to have people try on. At first, people were just happy to shop.
And has the mask mandate been an issue for customers?
Absolutely. It's been a massive issue. It continues to be. It's gotten to the point where I don't like to tell people to follow the rules because more often than not, they yell at me. But you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, it's a major issue. I've had to call cops. I've been yelled at. I've been called an a-hole. You name it, it's happened.
Do you have an interesting story about that?
Which one do you want to hear? I mean, I got a lot.
The best one.
The best one? Well, recently, it was maybe a couple weeks ago, we had a lady come in without a mask and started yelling at my manager, Lucas, fully cussing him out, called him a Nazi, told him to go back to Germany, and he was like full screaming to where all the customers in the store stopped and walked and watched. We had people film. I luckily thought of having people email the footage to me so that we could send it to the police. She showed up 2 more times after that to harass us, and I had to call 911. It was so scary, my legs were shaking. Like, it was unbelievable.
So, during the beginning stages of opening back up, was it difficult to order or receive new product for the brands you carry?
Yeah, it was actually pretty difficult. We just couldn't get product in like people were wanting. It was basically a supply and demand of any hard good, like outdoorsy product. Surfboards, wetsuits, leashes, all of that was just flying off the shelves. We couldn't keep anything in stock. We couldn't get anything in stock. We were just getting any brand possible. It was pretty crazy.
So now that we are just a little over a year into the pandemic, have you seen an increase in tourists or an increase in foot traffic in general to your store?
Yeah, we've been starting to see more tourists. It's still mainly local tourists, but I've been seeing a few people from out of the country. We used to have a lot more, but it's starting to pick up. And then the foot traffic, it's increased. It's amazing. It's been some of the busiest times I've ever seen in my 2.5 years at San Diego.
Has there been an increase or decrease of income for the past year?
Yeah, we've had probably more of an increase than a decrease. I mean, there's specific times and days, like, we're kind of in our slower season right now, just in between spring break and summer. But it's been mainly an increase. People with their unemployment and stimulus checks have just absolutely boosted sales because people are bored and they've been home. Loungewear has just skyrocketed. I think that's honestly what originally brought in a bunch of the sales, like hard goods, loungewear, stuff for anybody at home. But yeah, I can't disclose any numbers of what we're selling, but I can say that in this last pay period, which is like a bi-weekly, this last week, we're up 67% than we were in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So overall, do you think this pandemic has positively or negatively impacted the store?
I'd say both. San Diego has a motto. It's customers for life through great customer service. And unfortunately, with this pandemic, we have lost our customers for life because they are not happy about the mask mandate and they don't agree with it. And I mean, quite frankly, I don't blame them to an extent. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion and how they believe, but at the same time, we have to keep our doors open, and that means enforcing a mask mandate in our store. It has positively impacted us in the sense that we've had people stick by us and support us in what we do, and they're lifelong customers because of how we're running our store, but we also are losing people. I would say that we are having more positive impact than negative. I think most of our negative impact is outsiders, people outside of our state, because their states are open, and they come and they visit us, and they're not happy with the way we run. I'd say it's probably like a toss-up. I mean, our sales have driven upwards, and we talked about that, but I'd say it's gotten better, and I think it made the team closer. I mean, we have to really rely on each other, so there's not even just necessarily positive impacts with just outside of with our customer base, but there's positive impacts within, so yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Bree. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.